If you don't recognise this view, it's from platform 5 at Didcot Parkway Station, because we are in Didcot for the Abingdon and District Model Railway Club's Didcot Model Railway Exhibition 2024. We start at Bond Lane, a rather ingenious little layout which is in 00 gauge and 009 gauge, but makes use of a TV screen to do the back scene and a very clever light just above to make you really feel that you're immersed in this very quick 2-minute day. Here we see Small England Prince, one of Festinial Railway's locos, with a couple of Festinial coaches running through a thunderstorm. A prairie sits in the goods siding on the elevated section above, as a DMU also passes through the area. The storm doesn't last long, and it soon clears up for a lovely cloudy day. We move to Cannon Bay in 00 gauge, as we see a Direct Rail Services Class 57011 pulling a DVT into one of the platforms. Meanwhile, a Class 20 with a cab of a HST awaits its next manoeuvre. Once clear, a pair of more fortunate HSTs make their move. And for the bus lover, there's plenty to see on the higher section of the layout. There's a lot of buses there. We now come to Fairford Depot in 00 gauge. Fairford Depot is a layout which is actually part of a larger project, which is Fairford East. Eventually the two layouts will be combined so that trains can run on Fairford East and then round to the depot for servicing before returning back to Fairford East for their next turn of duty. The owner of the layout was talking to me about his plans and how it requires 6 people to get it running. Certainly something to look forward to in the future. Here we view a Network Rail liveried Class 08 leaving the depot as a Class 37 gets ready to move towards the loco wash. The layout has been brought to us today by the Fairford District Model Railway Club, an appreciation for the distance they've travelled so that we can view this wonderful layout. The Class 37 is one of Bachmann's super deluxe models with the tinted glazing and working roof fan. Unfortunately, the fan moves so fast that the frame rate on the camera can barely pick up the movement, so you might see something moving, or it just may look like it's stationary.
The camera don't pick it up. The camera doesn't pick it up. Yeah. Oh, that's annoying.
The 37 will pass through the loco wash before getting to the end of the siding, the driver changing ends and going back through the loco wash just to make sure it's had a thorough clean. Although it does look pretty clean to me already. Yep, must have missed a spot because it's going back through the loco wash. The owner of the layout tells me there's a little cameo scene which involves my podcast co-host Sam and the owner having a discussion about the correct Network Rail yellow, which Sam argues he has used on this unit here. We now come to Wantage Tramway in 009, which is quite fitting for the area as it's only just down the road. What's nice about this layout is It's not the same Wantage Tramway you may have seen in my previous videos. This is someone else's creation of it, and there are subtle differences and subtle similarities. No, subtle similarity is the word I'm looking for, but I'm sticking with it. It's absolutely delightful, and it's really good to see two layouts of the same subject and people's different takes on it. So enjoy, it's absolutely delightful modelling. Here we see Wantage Tramway Loco number 2 shunting some coal wagons through a goods shed and onwards towards what I'm assuming is the gasworks.
I had coins recently, we could do a raffle. Or maybe some carrot coins.
Now next I must apologise to the owner of this layout, but unfortunately they didn't seem to be listed on the small programme that was handed out, and nor can I find any name of this layout. I know I've seen it before, I even think I have recorded it before, but I've done Google searches, I've looked around, I can't find it anywhere. So I've just called it Port Layout, and I'm assuming it's an OO gauge, but it's a delightful little setup of an LMS harbour layout with a bit of shunting going on. There are some wonderful details on this layout that really do set the date. The use of steam traction lorries, there are plenty of horses around with carts, and then the occasional diesel lorry that's starting to appear, taking the traffic away from the railways.
Steam engines. Yeah. It has an interesting wheel system, this train.
But that's not going to bother the men today, as they busily get on with their job of shunting the wagons around the port.
You see the horses? Have we got your raffle ticket? So the horses, they're pulling
Springfield Street Yard in Illinois, in HO scale. Springfield Street Yard is an American switching yard set in a town somewhere southwest of Chicago, Illinois. It's run mainly by Burlington Northern, but locos from other companies may also appear, as can be seen here with this Canadian national. The yard connects to a nearby switching centre on the main line to Chicago. The layout gains its name from the road that leads out of town to Springfield, a very common town name in the USA. The town has one of the main coal-fired power stations providing electricity to the Chicago area, seen in the distance. We now come to Porlock in OO gauge. The original Porlock layout was based on the Exmoor village station built by a Hemel Hempstead resident, Bill Faulkner, as a home-based layout. Due to a house move, the layout was donated to the Hemel Hempstead Model Railway Society in late 2012. After some debate, it was decided to extend the layout by adding a filler yard, scenic board, and produce a layout that could be taken to exhibitions. They have used a degree of modeller's license to produce what they hope is an interesting layout for both the general public and the society members. An interesting feature of the layout is inclined siding, which allows coaches to be shunted into the siding, then rolled back into the station, which allows the locomotive to move to the other end of the train. The layout is operated in either GWR period or BR Western region, featuring steam passenger services, rail cars, auto coaches, and freight services. Buildings modelled are a mixture of kit built, such as Metcalf, Ratio and Wheels, and scratch built by the original owner. Here we see a pannier tank locomotive still holding on to its Great Western Railway livery as it moves towards the yard to pick up some wagons to move off for its next train. The loco buffers up, awaits the shunter to secure the coupling before moving off towards the platform to be given its instructions and await the signal before departing off with the freight train.
No, I don't think they are. Are they working?
They will work, but they're not wide in. Yeah, they're all right. I think there might have been a Wills kit actually, but there was some I found down the club, to be honest. And this one's coming.
We now go out west to America to visit out west, an ON30 scale layout. Here we see a Shay locomotive pulling some log cars across the very small but absolutely beautifully modelled, detailed and scenic layout.
Oh yeah. It's quite good actually. You see the exposed, yeah. Yeah, we can quite a lot. I think you have to carefully choose things. That's the secret, right? You don't know. You can't let it happen. Well, I remember in mine. As long as it looks real, it's like that's the same. Yeah, have you seen this one? It's quite good. You need to go back of the front. It's just we've been here. It's just it's pretty good. You're gonna be famous.
You'll probably get more views than me.
Yeah.
It's our one and only N-gauge layout of the exhibition. Well, I say that, there was another room that we didn't realise about until we got home, but I'm assuming it's the only N-gauge layout. This is Staffordshire Potteries. A delightful little layout that demonstrates all the various industries that Staffordshire had during its pottery heritage. There's a lot of smoking chimneys and a smoking traction engine. I can't tell if it's trying to move off or if it's just caught fire.
It was a big wheel that pushed air down into the mine and it floated up through the mine shaft. It was the very first mine to have a ventilation system.
Next is one of my favourite layouts on the exhibition circuit, which is Highfield Road at the OO gauge. A modern day image layout which is set somewhere around the Exeter area, I would assume, just by the traction I can see of Arriva Wales, GWR and South Western Railways trains. The layout has previously been seen in one of my other videos of the Abingdon Model Railway exhibition, although I think it's 2023 off the top of my head. The DMUs of the 158 and 159 classes sit in the platforms doing their station duties as an IET passes through the middle road. The layout is very open plan with the fiddle yard on view, allowing you to see all the delightful locos that can be offered to see going round the layout. The layout has working signals as signified here with the double yellow showing for the Castle Set HST, which is just about to come into the middle road. The train pauses before moving off again, although unfortunately there must be something wrong with the signalling system, because that double yellow leads immediately to a single red, which the driver sails straight through. Somebody better call the nurse. And in the opposite direction, we see a Colas Class 70 pulling some Freightliner heavy haul coal hoppers through one of the centre roads. The layout is clearly progressing from the last time I saw it, and it's a delight to watch. I can't wait to see the finished product and what they come up with. The Oxfordshire OO9 Society were also present with their 009 module layouts built up of 3 of their modules, which were the following: Harding of South Africa, as can be seen here; Inglenook Yard, which was in the middle. It has a goods yard for shunting and allows trains to pass by on a lovely snaking piece of track. Skarloey is about to demonstrate here. The final module is the bridge over the River Wye in the autumn and winter. An absolutely delightful module, and is superb for getting photographs and filming footage, because the trains just look so good on that bridge.
I'll send it straight. Okay. Do you want it turned or?
One day.
Once Skarloey is clear, a rake of skips are hauled through the various landscapes from one end of the layout to the other. Delightful piece of modelling. I really do like the module idea. It's great that people can just build their own ideas, combine it all together to make one big layout, even if geographically it doesn't quite make sense. Much to my boy's delight and his request, a garret was also put out on display, and it looks absolutely magnificent. I really would like one of them for my 009 layout, though I think it may get stuck in the tunnel. It's certainly a lot larger than the Welsh models I currently have.
It looks nice on the bridge, I think.
What I want to do,
And whilst they're at it, the owners felt they might as well run the other South African narrow gauge locomotive, although I really do need to brush up on my South African narrow gauge locomotives, because I couldn't tell you what this one was, except that it looks absolutely delightful. But normal service eventually resumed, and there were locos I could name, including Miss Fairley, that passes over the bridge with a couple of coaches. See what I mean about the bridge? Absolutely stunning. And finally, Lego City in L gauge. As I say, there were some other layouts to view, but I didn't realise that they were round the corner from this layout, as the setup was not very clear, shall we say. So my apologies to the South Oxford narrow gauge, Nillian Palmer, Morella, and oh what a lovely war. Unfortunately I've missed your layouts, but hopefully someone else has recorded them and I can find them on YouTube, and so can you. Well, that's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click the like button. It helps others find it, helps my channel, etc. If you want to see more and you haven't already, click the subscribe button. And don't forget, they also do a podcast with Empress Path, which will be returning on the 9th of September. So there's that to look forward to as well. Oh, you're still here? Then why not watch another of my video? I've got exhibitions, layout builds, podcasts, the works.